in the end, I was not able to use the door panels from the parts car because, for one thing, this car has power locks, the parts car didn't. So it was, this bezel was wrong on the door panels from the parts car. Couldn't use the front ones, the back ones won't match, so I'm just going to do the best I can to clean up these ones. I thought of taking the inserts here out of these ones and putting them, swapping them into the parts car door panels, but these things are all like plastic welded together. It's not like the old-fashioned things that were held together with screws and bolts. So in the end, we'll do the best job we could do cleaning it up and go from there. I've got to get this cleaned up. I'm gonna try a trick that I learned on YouTube for fixing this seat. It should come up pretty good. But what I did do was all the plastic panels in the rear of the car that were all scratched and banged up, I was able to replace them with the ones from the parts car, and it looks a lot nicer back here now. I'm happy with that. Now what I'm going to do is, such a nice day, I'm going to go ahead and start buffing the outside of the car and see if we can get this old dead black paint to come up a little bit, get it back to life. I also replaced this door handle. It was broken, so that's fixed now. We're coming along nicely. Let's get going. I'll come back after a bit of buffing and we'll see what it looks like. I'm just going to do, I've got my machine here, and I'm going to do the mother's 3 steps, which I always find works pretty well for, you know, just a normal car. So let's see how it works out. I've been going at it with my little machine, and step 1 of the mother's 3 steps, you can see it's really coming up pretty good. You can't see it because of the video quality, but it's just covered with millions of little scratches and imperfections, but it's original paint. And honestly, someone, if they really like this car, I've done all the hard work. You just drive the thing into Mako and have it, scuff it and paint it. The thing would look like $1 million. But anyway, the other thing I've been working at was blending on the fender here. If you look really careful, you can still see just barely see the difference in the two colors where I did the body work. But I'm gonna have another go at it with the machine. There's still a lot of, I can still feel a lot of stuff on it. I might, once I'm done, get the clay bar out and have a go at it with the clay bar. But for the most part, you know, for just a car to drive around in, it's shiny, it looks good, I think. The other thing I have to deal with is this. I saw a trick on YouTube. I'm going to try after. I'll let you guys know how it works. Well, that's looking pretty snazzy, eh? Holy Toledo. I'm liking it. I can't believe it. My wife is going to make me sell this car. Isn't she mean? Well, that's what I got it for, to fix it up and sell it. I got enough cars. But there's got to be someone out there that loves PT Cruisers that would love to have this thing to bomb around in. Wow! So that's step 1 of the mother's 3 steps. I just got called in for coffee and pie. So when I come out from that, we're going to start step 2. After going over this with the step 1 of mother's 3-step system, I came to the realization that this thing has got so many chips and nicks and little fine scratches in it. It's just covered in imperfections. I wish they would have used black primer underneath. It would have looked a lot better. And then all these little nicks, they pick up the wax and you end up with white dots. So I'm going to have to come up with something to solve this problem. I scrounged around, and at Canadian Tire I found the Turtle Wax Jet Black Kit. We're going to give this a try. This is, in the old days we used to buy wax called Colorback, and it was basically wax that was colored. And if you had a red car, you got the red one. You had a blue car, you got the blue one. And it did wonders at hiding all this stuff. So we're going to try to use this product on this car and see what happens. $25 plus tax it was. I'm going to open it up and see what's in here, and we're going to have a go at it. I'm going to switch from my big buffer, this thing, to my little Black & Decker handy buffer, and it's not as aggressive, but it gets the stuff on without blowing your elbows out. We're going to have a go at this, and hopefully it'll make a difference. Here's what you get in the kit. A couple of applicators, black pre-wax cleaner, black carnauba wax, and 2 black spray detailers. I'm going to read the instructions and see if there's anything special I have to do. Otherwise, we're going to get to work. First step of the Turtle Wax Jet Black system is in the books, the deep clean step. And I hardly used any of it, quite frankly, to do the whole car. And it looks a heck of a lot better than it did before. Look at that. Look at that. Wow. A lot of the smaller imperfections have started to disappear. The front of it looked horrible. It was just so many millions of little stone chips in it everywhere. Now there's a few that you can see, but a lot of them are just gone. The black pigment in that stuff fills it in. I mean, this car, it lived its whole life on the highway. It's a mess. The only thing that's really going to save it is to go in and have a coat of paint put on it. Which, let me tell you, the thing is starting to look pretty nice. This car is worth painting. The body is really good on it. It looks great. On to step 2, which is the carnauba wax black. I don't know about you guys, but I'm flabbergasted with this. I never in my wildest dreams thought this car would end up looking like this. When I bought it, there was so much brake dust all over it. The car, it had like an orange haze to it. The rear brakes the rotors had actually disappeared. They were gone. The 2 pads were touching each other. And all that metal dust had gone up. And it was literally stuck to the car. I can't believe this. The Turtle Wax Black Magic product, what do they call it? Jet Black, pardon me. I can't say enough about it. Look at this car. It's still got its share of little chips and stuff, but it's toned it right down. It's numbed it down. It looks like $1 million. Wow. Now, next on the agenda, I'm going to give the wheels a little polish, dress the tires, polish up the exhaust tip. It's got a chrome tip because it's a GT. And it's just going to keep looking better and better, this little car. Then we'll attack the interior. Once I'm all done, this thing is going to look like, look at this. It's going to look like $1 million. Oh, I'm so happy. I also have to install the hood emblem. It was missing from this car when I got it, so we got one at the wreckers. Unfortunately, when you take them off at the wreckers, the 2 little locating pins usually get busted off. But that's not a problem. I've marked it out where it has to go. I'll put some 2-sided automotive trim tape on the back of it and we'll stick it back on. This is the stuff. It's 2-sided trim tape. You can get it at any auto parts joint. You just peel off one side, stick it to your thing. Peel off the other side, stick it on the car. And does it ever stick? Okay, there it is. I've got the 2-way tape installed on it. Now I'm going to peel it all off and stick the emblem on the car. There, that looks better. It's on a little bit cockeyed, but looks good going 40 miles an hour.